Michael Nagy here with Jiggy Jag TV and DiscoveringBands.com. And for everyone watching, share this video on my channel and help support the awesome bands I feature. And today I'm here with Ventruss. How you guys doing today?
Doing good, doing good.
What's going on, Michael?
It's great to have you on today. And I want to say for the people not familiar with you guys, you want to tell us a little about the band, give us a little history, start off with?
All right. Well, yes, we can. The band started originally in 2012, back whenever I was in high school. Through that time, we've definitely gone in through a lot of different installments of the band. We started off just, a bunch of guys from high school, or some of them had just graduated high school, and started off playing covers and, writing material slowly on and on. Which eventually led to playing shows and led to playing bigger shows as time went on. And then as time went on, some of those guys, they get jobs, they realize it's not really their thing anymore. We wanted to keep the thing going, the core of us. So we made several more different installments of the band. And this current installment, I would say, not counting Jake coming back into the band in July, has been together for about 4 years now. So I would say, like serious Ventruss, like Ventruss that's like here and present and talking to you, the real current Ventruss, I would say started about 2017. And ever since then, we've been doing a lot of different things, like playing with some of our favorite nationals, traveling a lot, going to places like Florida, Missouri, anywhere across the country. Yeah, that's just that's the brief of it, but yeah, that's that. If you want a little bit more, we'll give you a little bit more, but that's all you need to know right now.
Well, how did you guys get into like metal? What got you into the heavier style of music?
Oh man, dude, I got into metal from family. My brother and my dad were very like heavy on just metal. Like my dad particularly grew up listening to metal, like all the old school stuff like Zeppelin, Kiss, REO Speedwagon and all that. But yeah, for me, like it all started from like my dad and my brother, and just like mainly showing me Metallica like when I was like really little, and it just like came from there, and just every just the sound from mainly from like the distorted guitars and the crazy rhythms. It just made you want to vibe into it. So it's definitely good to start at a young age. But yeah, for me, it all started from family ever since I was little, and it just excelled from there. But yeah.
So yeah, my dad was into like a lot of stuff like Judas Priest, and he really liked Motley Crue, Kiss, huge Kiss fan. He also liked Metallica and bands like that. And that was kind of my introduction into rock music in general. And I want to say, other than like growing up and like listening to what you hear on pop radio, like I really got invested into music at around 11, whenever I discovered Linkin Park. And from there, it just kind of like catapulted. Actually, what's weird though is like in the 5th grade, I had like my rock phase, and then I guess I leaned more into the rap side of things because I started getting into a lot of hip hop. I mean, I became hugely invested into Eminem. Now, huge Eminem fan still to this day. Listening to a lot of like Memphis underground rap, Houston underground rap. Baton Rouge's rap scene, which is where we're from, was actually popping off at the time. So I got into that, and then around like 8th grade, I heard Nirvana for the first time, and it's crazy. And the craziest thing is I really don't listen to Nirvana much anymore at all, but they were kind of like my like catapult back into the rock world, and from there. From listening to Nirvana, I got into nu metal. I don't really know how that happened, but I got into like Korn, Slipknot, Disturbed, and let's see what's other bands I was listening to. System of a Down, and just stuff like that. Papa Roach. I started to get into that new. And the funny thing was, like the scene music was out then. Like a lot of like metalcore was coming out, and I didn't get into like metalcore until maybe around like into high school, but like everybody was on MySpace, like straightening their hair and doing the scene thing. I grew my hair as long as I was allowed to, but I was wearing the sweatbands, listening to new metal, wishing I would spike my hair, but that was way out of the question because it was '09 and way not cool to do that at that time. So yeah. But yeah, and then as time progressed, I got into heavier and heavier and heavier stuff. A lot of psychological stuff. I mean, as a vocalist, I read a lot of lyrics and take away from a lot of lyrics, and I've grown to really like focus on that side, you know. And now really I can listen to any genre of music, and no matter what it is, if I could, the weird thing is I love like the stupid stuff sometimes because it makes me laugh. But like if you can make me feel something, no matter what you're doing, you can be yelling in my face or singing your soul out, I'll feel that shit.
Now, you guys had mentioned on Metallica, and how does it feel to just play a festival with them? It must have been awesome.
Oh man, I think that's the biggest achievement a band could ever say. Like that they have gained. Like, you know, like I just said, like it all started specifically with metal. It all started from Metallica, and then to say that we opened up the show for them, it's nothing could be sweeter than that. Like, and it's really hard to get into Rockville, like with the certain connections and everything. It's hard to just get in there and play, but like we did it, and we are ready for more. Like we are so hungry. Like
not even Metallica. There were a lot of big name bands on that bill.
Yeah, Rob Zombie, Chevelle, I mean, and like he said, you know, and then the fact that we did that, like no one could take that away from us. Like we did that, and
yeah.
We're going to do more of that. We're going to do that more and more and more and more and more, and that's what we plan on doing. And it's just unreal, you know. I mean, the fact that we were given that opportunity, and the fact that other bands like us were given that opportunity at such short notice was incredible. Of the Space Zebra show, shout out to them. They do the Danny Wimmer Presents Twitch show. If it wasn't for them, us and all the bands that were on the Twitch stage wouldn't have been there. So it was an incredible experience. I would do it all over again, and we are going to do it all over again, and at different festivals.
So
Got that right.
Maybe the goal next year, get on some festivals for the summer.
Yes, looking at Incarceration, Metal in the Mountains, Blue Ridge. I mean, any of them, all of them. You know, like just give it. You know, we're that kind of made us like hungry to do all of them, and gave us confidence that we could. So.
Yeah, I definitely have to say, like, it definitely opened up a lot of doors for us. Like, it wasn't like this was going to be a one and done thing. And I'm pretty sure this goes for most bands that had the same opportunity and privileges we got. Like, this opened up a crap ton of doors for us to potentially, like, spread and network our bands, you know, do other festivals. No, this was my first major festival, and like even attending, not even just playing. So there was like a lot of first time things happening for us, and it was a little bit overwhelming, but like it became an addiction. It's like you like coming back home, you're still like on a high, I guess you could say, from it. Like you just feel captivated in it. You don't want it to end. But yeah, it definitely opened up a lot of stuff for us, and I'm just honored.
Oh yeah, like getting a tattoo, man. Like once you get one, you just want to get a ton, and this is literally exactly the same feeling. And it's crazy. Like I still have to like pinch myself, you know. And that was my first time seeing Metallica, and like my first time seeing Metallica, which was one of the bands. And actually, I meant to put that earlier. Was the first time I heard Enter Sandman when I was like 11 in my dad's truck. I had never heard drums mixed that heavy. I had just never heard like the. I was like, Jesus, like the car is about to just wreck. You know, like even like listening to like a lot of stuff like modern production, like I had never heard something quite that intense. And the Black Album I still love to this day, you know, and it's unreal. You know, I'm honored beyond belief, honored to do it with the guys that I do it with. And, you know, it was just not, and like going back to it 9 years, like thinking about me in high school, you know, starting, and all of us, you know, everybody that was in the band then, even if they aren't in the band. Well, the only guy that's in the band now that was in the band like in the beginning is our bass player. And like seeing how far that journey is, it just shows like, you know, never give up.
Yeah, congratulations. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to say your latest single, Serpent, tell everyone a little about that. It's an awesome song.
Bro, Serpent, man. Well, Jesse, I'll let you break down the musical side of it first.
All right. Musically, Serpent literally just came off the top of me and our other guitar player Sean's head. There was a lot of time on our hands for the past 2 years in between playing certain shows and having band practices that me and Sean had a lot of free time at hand, and I went to his house and we started playing guitar for like hours, and we just sat there and came up. Me and him managed to both come up with parts and sections of things that correlate well together. And I wanted to do this riff that had like a weird kind of like 80s twist Gojira vibe to it, but still heavy and punching and more like with a modern edge to it. And Sean kept retaliating back to that and just kept making these cool, chunky, heavy, like riff style stuff. And it literally just came back to us with a computer on his computer, putting in these little sections together. And musically, we brought it to the band, and the band all like they liked the vibe and everything to it. So from there, our drummer BJ, he kind of formatted the song. He was the one who took kind of like a Lars Ulrich thing from Metallica. He does a lot of that where he chunks the sections in the right spots to make it make sense. And then that's essentially how the music side of it came to be. And it's literally one of our most like prized possessions, like one of our favorite riffs to play. Like it's very unique, so we're very proud of that.
Oh yeah, that song for me personally, like when it came to writing the lyrics, it actually was pretty hard for me because I remember the first time I heard it, the first couple times I heard it, like I didn't know what I wanted to do with it exactly. Like I remember at one point I was going to rap over it, I wanted to kind of bring that element of new metal, rap metal that I'd started off with and really do something with that. And then as it went on, like it just wasn't fitting, and the original like lyrics was like an ode to our city, and like the song was called 225, which is our area code. And I realized I do want to write a song like that one day, but like that was just not the song. And then and the weird thing about that was it was kind of a predecessor to what was about to happen in my life, because literally the week that we recorded that, my dad died in a wreck. So, but things got really, really heavy, and his estranged wife caused a lot of problems for us. And I just had this image of this person in my mind that was like a snake that would bite you whenever you didn't notice and just slither in any way they could just to make your life hell. And there was just this image of this person, and I didn't know who it was and who it was going to be. And it ended up being her. And the weird thing about the chorus is, which weirdly enough was probably my favorite chorus that I've ever done vocally, is I had a different chorus written the entire time before we recorded it. And the weird thing is, I didn't really like it that much, and I hated that I didn't like it that much. But I'd only heard it in practice, and I was like, maybe we can hear it in the studio. We could throw some layers on it, and maybe it'll sound a little bigger. And I woke up that morning and I just heard this melody in my head. I listened to it, and I was listening to it in my head, not even like with my AirPods in. And I just heard this different melody, and it just was soothing and kind of like creepy. Like it sounded slithery to me. And I just wrote the words down on my phone, never practiced it, never rehearsed it with the band. Jesse was the only guy that was there with me in the studio because we just went there to do some vocals. I knocked out that chorus, and I was like, damn, that sounded exactly the way I hoped it would. And it was just like, damn, and then like the rest of the song was just like attacking and basically not even basically, really going after that serpent, that snake, that amphibian reptile that bit you and just made your life living hell, and speaking your mind about it, telling them about it, and you know, realizing that, yeah, it has made you a little bit more vulnerable, but you keep carrying on, and you keep you know, that's why I learned to bleed in increments to keep me holding on. I was like, yes, I am hurting, yes, my pain is always real, but I understand that I have to keep moving. So I bleed a little bit at a time, and I let a little bit of that out, and I just keep on going and trucking. And it's hopefully a message to people who are going through a similar thing.
Now, what do you guys have coming up in the near future?
So we've got a few shows coming up. We got a show December 11th in Gulfport. We've got a show in Orlando that's not announced yet. That'll be next year. And we'll have a EP release soon, actually. So, yeah, Jesse, touch up on that, my friend.
Don't really know when the EP is coming out. We have all of the songs finalized. So right now, what we plan on doing is pitching our EP to labels. Try to branch out to the bigger ones first, and then null our way down. It could go either way. People could see a lot in us and potential, and or we just may have to do it, you know, by ourselves again for this next round. But we don't know when it's gonna be. We just know it's very soon because the songs are ready. So just kind of be on the lookout.
Yep. How many songs?
This is gonna be 5. It's more of a smaller EP, but I feel like it's a very important EP for us because I feel like this is a next chapter for our sound as the band. I feel like we've matured. Every EP, it's like we mature a little more and more, and I feel like this is like a new, fresh beginning to what's to come. So.
And yeah, and actually, and he's exactly right. You know, and I feel like a lot of the songs, like on our previous EP, a lot of them were written before like this installment of Ventruss was a thing. They were just kind of songs that were carried over, and so this was like the first batch of songs, other than I would say Psychosis off of that last EP, that we've all written together. So it was like the real, like this is what we've been like. It's basically a statement of saying like this is what we've been wanting Ventruss to be for so long, and like this is it. Like we found the mix, and you know, we already have 3 songs that we've released off of it. The other 2, I know. I mean, we're just as confident about, and yeah, it'll be something that we're going to be proud of, and we'll be shopping it around, and you know, we'll see what happens. You know, regardless of what, even if it's on our own, we'll still make the most out of it and still put on a kick-ass EP release party and just have the time of our lives. And also we also have a show with Buckcherry March 29th. That's another thing we got coming up at the Basin in Baton Rouge.
Awesome. Now, if people want to find you online on social media, look you up, get your music, how do they do that?
Well, you can go to ventrussmusic.com. You can find us at facebook.com/Ventruss. On Instagram, you can find us at Ventruss_official. Twitter, Ventruss_. TikTok, I believe, is just Ventruss. And like I said, ventrussmusic.com. You can find all of our music on YouTube. Our YouTube is under our band name. We're on every single platform: Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes Store, Amazon. We're on all those platforms and digital, either purchasing platforms or streaming platforms. We're on all of those. We're everywhere. You know, like we're on everything. So whatever floats your boat, whatever site is the one you consume, you know, it's we're there. You know, and just search Ventruss, Ventruss, and you'll find it, man. And you know, and we, from the bottom of our hearts, from Jesse to me to Sean to Jake and BJ, we really appreciate it. You know, and we thank you all for the support.
Awesome. Well, it was great having you on and talking with you, and everybody look them up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, brother.
Beta root beer is the best freaking root beer you can get. That's a good way to end that.
We're not sponsored by them.
We're not. That was just a free promotion for them. Hello, sponsorship. Endorsement, whatever.
What makes that your favorite one?
The cane sugar. It's made from pure cane sugar, and that's why. I don't know. Just something about it.
It really is really good. I'm telling you. I love Barks root beer. Barks is like my favorite as far as like Maine root beers, but Abita is just, they got that special touch to it. I'm telling you.
They did it, man. They knocked it out of the park, and oof, I get my hands on it every time I can.
I'll have to give it a try. I like their beers, so I'll have to try that.
Absolutely. And I mean, Jesse was talking earlier. He's from Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Central Jersey.
He's from Central Jersey.
That's awesome, man. I'm from I used to be from Pompton Lakes, Riverdale, just more northeastern. It's about like 15-20 minutes away from Patterson, and Patterson's like 15-20 minutes away from New York City. So, 40-minute drive and you're already in Manhattan.
Yeah, it's a great location because you got the shows in North Jersey, New York, Philadelphia. There's a lot of opportunities here for the whole entertainment industry.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. What about where you guys are located? A lot of venues there?
There were. Obviously, COVID has kind of knocked a lot of them out. Like our premier venue, the Varsity Theater, that's actually in question right now as to when they're going to open back up, if they're going to open back up. We also have the Basement in Baton Rouge is doing some shows, Mid-City Ballroom, a bunch. I mean, we have New Orleans, and New Orleans has a ton of venues.
Mm.
And then Mississippi. Go on, Jesse.
No, I'm saying that they're all nice though. Like I love the certain venues down here. I haven't really. I don't want to say like I'm not really familiar with the venues up in Jersey. I'm familiar with one theater, and this is when I used to live in Pennsylvania, and it's Sherman Theater. It's literally right on the line from East Stroudsburg to Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. And I saw Steve Vai there, Motionless in White. That theater is beautiful, I'm telling y'all. So, and we will play it. We will play it.